Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Ham Chops. Just want to give you guys a quick update over how it went on the weekend at NAIC here in New Orleans. Pretty busy weekend, pretty fun event to go and watch, especially on Sunday when all the final rounds went down. It got pretty intense there, especially for the TCG side of things. That's all I've just pretty much watched that whole evening, and I caught some of the Pokemon Go stuff during the day. Didn't have any time to do any side events or anything like that because it was just jam-packed with watching the championship rounds, and then also the side event schedule got shortened on Sunday since it is the last day, so that's no biggie. I did get a lot of Destined Rivals packs. I got like a stack of like 16 packs. So that's pretty cool to win from just for participating in the side events pretty much. I did participate in the Ditto sealed pre-release Destined Rivals, and also played like one event for the standard format of TCG. So that's pretty cool. Got to meet a lot of people, talk to just other Pokemon players, other new players. Got to meet Little Dark Fury, just stopped and said hello real quick, and I also met To Love L, who's another creator that covers Pokemon and Tamagotchi content. So that was pretty awesome to see two YouTubers that I've been following for a while and whose content I've been watching pretty consistent basis too. So that was really awesome to meet them and just take a picture and just say hello. I didn't want to bother them too much. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the TCG side of things. That's really what I've watched, and that's like my main interest in Pokemon, aside from Pokemon Unite, and I do Pokemon Go on the weekend with my wife. So I'm not too serious in that. Though watching the Pokemon Go Championship final rounds was pretty insane. I thought I knew how to play Pokemon Go in the Battle League, but I obviously don't, because watching them, seeing their tactics, what they're focusing on when building their teams, was a big eye-opener for me. I was pretty excited watching it. Honestly, it was very entertaining seeing some of these catches mid-match, and also how they're strategically switching out their Pokemon and charging up their charge attacks to save them for later. That was, like I said, it was news to me on some of these tactics. I'm definitely gonna research it more and get into it. But yeah, no, that was really exciting. Congrats to both the finalists. And also Pokemon Go at the end dropped some news on that the bottle caps are coming to Pokemon Go, so that way we can max out some of the IVs for our Pokemon. And if you're very close to having a perfect, well, now we got the bottle cap to start hyper training your Pokemon and get your perfect pretty much. I know it's not as satisfying as naturally catching it, but hey, at least we're getting it, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the juniors division of TCG results. This was an interesting match, crazy match to watch, mainly because it was between a pair of siblings, Annabelle and Kenji. They both are in the juniors division, of course, but they they were able to both make it to that final round and ended up facing off for playing for first and second, which was really cool. The ultimate sibling rivalry. They both took it in good stride. They were very supportive, and they seemed like they were just having another game at home, honestly, sitting up there and playing. They were playing in a mirror match too, which is even more interesting. They're both playing a Dragapult Charizard deck. Annabelle, I'm sure she knows her little brother, pretty much like got inside of his head and almost knew everything he was gonna do and capitalized on it. Both great players though, made some great moves. Some of them, it's like, all right, cool, that's like a new tactic, that's a new way of thinking. Awesome to watch. I'm glad you get to share that memory with your sibling, and I think that's pretty cool. Congrats to both of them for making it, and it's gonna be fun to see how they do at Worlds. Hope for you guys to make it to the end. Over in the seniors division, we had Gabriel and Omar playing. Gabriel has won all 4 ICs this season pretty much, and dude's a force to be reckoned with. So it was pretty insane to actually watch him go up against Omar. There's some times where, you think Omar was kind of getting the upper hand, he couldn't. Gabriel just capitalizing on destroying his Dusclops, which, by the way, Omar was running a Dragapult Dusclops deck, and then Gabriel was using the Charizard Pidgeot control. But yeah, every time Omar would put down a Duskull, Gabriel would just capitalize on that and gust up, or just somehow get damage counters on it and start just removing them from the board instantly, just knowing that if you allowed to get up to that Dusclops or Dusknoir, he was going to have trouble with it later. But they did end up going into overtime and had to take it all the way down to up to turn 3. So that was just kind of a nail biter to watch. I can only imagine what was going through their heads during this time, and just even thinking like, okay, how am I going to pull this off? How am I going to make my way out of this situation? Definitely some big brain thinking for that match too. It was really cool to watch and see that go down in person. Then over in the Masters division, we had Isaiah Bradner versus Riley McKay. Again, another mirror match here, which was Gardevoir. Their decks varied by maybe a few cards that they teched for, though I believe Isaiah's deck had 4 Monkey Dory in it. Monkey Dory is just as much as a menace as Budu this format, honestly. You just expect every deck to be running a Budu or Monkey Dory in there with the Adrenaline Brain. It saves a lot, especially with Dragapult, and just things with damage counters being able to move that damage around has been super helpful, as you'll see in a lot of these decks that run it. But yeah, the Gardevoir mirror match, they also ended up going to time and having to go up to turn 3. Isaiah Bradner took the win in turn 3 at the last round, which was insane to watch because he had so many resources in the discard pile. His hand wasn't the best, but was able to just draw into the exact cards he needed, was able to get some resources at that discard pile using Gardevoir's ability, moving some damage around, and was able to secure an extra prize card more than Riley to get the win. As you'll see, dude made a huge celebration at the end, rightfully so, but secured his spot at Worlds as if he didn't already have it. It was insane to watch coming from somebody's perspective that's, I play, but I'm not going to say I'm as good as them. There's big brain thinking again going on in these games. It's really crazy to see how in these situations you get in, especially in mirror matches, that they can still kind of find a path out and make their way up to, I guess, the top. It was really awesome to watch. But I didn't get to stay for the VGC finals or any of that, so I didn't get to see any of the announcements in person, but I was watching the stream at home. They finally announced some more things for Worlds in 2 months, and also revealed the new Pikachu Plush, which is, honestly, if you haven't seen it, really cute. It's gonna be up here on screen. There he is in his cute little Letterman jacket. Look at that. Come on. I'm really excited. I did secure Spectator Pass for Worlds this year. I was not able to go last year, mainly because it was in Hawaii. Pretty long trip, but come on, I'm really excited to get my hands on a Worlds Pikachu plush. I'm pretty glad. It's going to be in Anaheim at the Anaheim Convention Center across from Disney, so that's just a cherry on top. As you guys know, I also love Disney. But yeah, no, like looking at the website and some of the stuff they announced, they have some more merch announced, some art, but let's go ahead and look at how big this store, the hall's going to be. So yeah, like the Worlds event hall is, as you can see, pretty huge, but what catches my attention is the massive size of the Pokemon Center that's going to be there. It is taking up like a good quarter of the space on that floor. The one we had here at NAIC was probably a quarter of what they're showing here on this map for the Pokemon Center. So yeah, so now that we have this thing quadrupled almost, I'm pretty excited. I'm very scared for my finances. I'm gonna make it happen though, because I just know there's gonna be so many plushies in there that that my wife is looking for, that I want, along with a lot of these supplies for playing TCG and other things. So that's going to be really awesome. I can't wait for them to reveal more merch, especially I'm expecting them to release a Letterman jacket, just like how Machamp's wearing in the photos, or Machoke. But yeah, no, that's pretty exciting. Another cool thing that we have here is they're going to have the trading card game gallery, which is pretty cool. I missed at the EUIC, they had a gallery for the clay Pokemon cards with the artist the artist Yuka Mori. She makes really good clay sculptures, and that's like her photograph that always ends up on her card. That's pretty awesome. I was really jealous that at EUIC they were able to get her and get that exhibit going. So I'm really excited to see what they have planned for Worlds. That trading card gallery, it's going to be pretty cool, especially if they bring either some of her artwork in, or just some other Pokemon artists too, like the guy that makes the Malmetal cards, the best metal artist there is to this day right now in the Pokemon world. We also got some more, looks like they have a programming stage, and looking at some of their other stuff on the website, they said they're gonna have panels for other people in the Pokemon space, along as a content creator meet and greets, which is gonna be pretty cool. I do watch a lot of other content creators here on YouTube that talk about Pokemon, so it'd be cool to actually go in there, meet with some other people, and just see what they're up to lately in person, just get to know them a lot more than just what I see on the YouTube. Other than that, I will most likely do some pin trading too. I have a few Pokemon pins, trying to get more. But no, yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. They also did reveal what the World's promo card will look like, and if you haven't seen it yet, here it is. Pretty cool. Got that nice little Ferris wheel in the back. That's pretty awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to get my hands on that while I'm there too, and I'm also hoping we get a reveal soon for the World's Pokemon Paradise Stadium card. You know, that one that reduces the retreat cost of a Psyduck in play. So there's some other stuff to look forward to there, right? But if you go on the Pokemon website too, they're also showing some of the creators and cosplayers that will be there, along with the schedule for the weekend, which will be fun. Oh, and one other thing too, they're gonna have an autograph room, so I'm hoping they reveal who's going to be there in that autograph room soon. I'm definitely going to pick up a poster while I'm there and try and get some things signed, maybe even bring some cards depending on who's there, and get those signed also. So yeah, we have a lot of things going on here, and it's going to be a fun, busy weekend. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to squeeze this in along with going to Disneyland at the same time, right? And of course, the biggest thing that everybody likes to see, especially if you're a competitor in Pokemon, is they revealed the Pokemon Competitors Kit. Comes with the plush, comes with that cute backpack, comes with the playmat, everything you see in that picture it's coming with. I'm pretty excited to see that all this merch will be available. Hopefully, we get some of the things that the competitors are getting, obviously not the playmat, but that hat, that backpack, that plush is definitely going to be some big ticket items for me that I really want. But let's take a second and go back and look at that Pikachu card too real quick. So just looking at the details in the background, you can already tell it's a pretty cool card that they're putting some thought into. Looking at the Ferris wheel and the Incredicoaster right there in the back from Disneyland, Pixar Pier is pretty cool. That or it could be one of the piers over in the LA area. We'll get confirmation on that later. But yeah, and then we have Pikachu just kind of doing what he does and shocking Iron Thorns there. So we'll see how that turns out. But as we all know, Pikachu always comes out on top. But no, that's pretty cool. And we got the same move on here on this card that we did in the past World's Championship promo cards. So not too much here except for the change in the art. But yeah, everybody be sure to go get those cards when they are released. You can go get them at your local game stores. I believe GameStop might even carry them. But I usually just go to my local card shop or game store and pick it up there. They usually have plenty of them. Just go and ask. You may have to buy a pack or two, but it's no problem. But other than that, yeah, I mean, we looked at the competitor pack, that Pikachu Plush, and the floor map. Just didn't go over the schedule. We'll go over that as it gets closer, but the schedule for that's usually the same as all their other events, which is, going through a lot of the main events, we going through the herd on Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is known as Championship Sunday for some of you guys that aren't familiar with it. That's when all the finals happens. That's always when you see some of the crazy matches, and just because the stakes feel higher there, But yeah, no, stay tuned, and when we get there, I'll be uploading to our story on Instagram. Hopefully the signal's good there. This past weekend when I was at NAIC, it was a little hard to get some things uploaded on that first day. Just there's so many people there, the signal got throttled. But hopefully for this, we get some better signal. We'll try and upload short videos later on and even just post what it's like in there in the Pokemon Center, which I'm sure is going to be hectic. But no, yeah. Keep your eye on us, and next week I'll return back to our scheduled programming of weekly news. I know I missed on some big news these past 2 weeks, most notably the Xbox ROG Ally, which is I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, we'll get back to our regular stuff, and other than that, everyone have a good one. Thanks for watching if you stood all the way through to the end. And shout out to Little Dark Fury and To Love Al. If you guys haven't watched their content, go watch them. Little Dark Fury does Pokemon TCG content, and To Love Al does Tamagotchi and Pokemon merch. Covers a lot of things in Japanese pop culture and plushes. So really cool to see both of those people there creating. It was awesome to meet you two. But other than that, have a good one, and talk to you later. Bye.